One of the first things a person wants to know when moving to a new province is where can I find a safe city to relocate my family? Today on the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast, we're exploring the safest cities in Saskatchewan.
This is the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast, the show that highlights Saskatchewan real estate. Looking to buy your first house, your next investment property? Subscribe to never miss an episode. Here's your host, Ron Saskatchewan.
Welcome to the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things real estate, all things Saskatchewan. My name is Ron Saskatchewan. I'm a mortgage broker based in Saskatoon. Plenty of people reach out to me asking about safe cities to move to. So I've gone to the Crime Severity Index, the index that most news organizations use to determine most dangerous and safe cities. So take this list with a grain of salt. Crime takes place in all communities, and these stats are only meant for illustrative purposes and to help educate newcomers to the area. These numbers don't take into account specific neighborhoods or overall safety of a community. Many people live in these communities and feel very safe and are happy to call it home. It can also be very specific from neighborhood to neighborhood of where you're going to find dangerous or safe areas. If you are interested about the different levels of safety in an area, I would personally recommend you reach out to a local realtor who will have a much better idea of areas to avoid and places that are great family neighborhoods. As a reference, as we're going through this list, the Canadian national average of the Crime Severity Index is 78.1. So without further preamble, let's get into our list of cities. Coming in at number 14, we have one of our most northern cities, Ronge, population of 5,317, overall crime severity index of 631.3, a yearly increase year over year of 12.9%. Ronge holds the highest score on the list. Particularly concerning is violent crime, which saw an almost 14% increase from last year, as well as an increase in non-violent crime. At number 13, we have Meadow Lake. Meadow Lake has a population of 5,141 people, overall crime severity index of 327.4, a decrease from last year of 32.4%. While these numbers are on the higher side, Meadow Lake has seen major reduction in both violent and non-violent crime categories, reflecting positively on local safety efforts. Prince Albert, Saskatchewan's third largest city with a population of 36,768 people, experienced an overall crime severity index of 302.2, indicating a 13.5% increase. The violent crime severity index rose by 18.5%, and non-violent crime increased by 9.5%, placing Prince Albert on the higher end of the crime severity index spectrum. Yorkton, with a population of 15,969 people, holds the 11th spot, reporting an overall CSI of 164.4, showing a 15.5% increase. While violent crime decreased by 8.3%, non-violent crime increased by 27.8%, signifying a mixed trend in crime rates in that city. Up next, we have Melfort, housing a population of 5,718 people. It secured the 10th position on our list, revealing an overall crime severity index of 135.4, marking a significant 33.4% increase. The violent crime severity index increased by 8.1%, and nonviolent crime surged by 41.8%. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan's largest city with a population of 264,637 people, occupies the 9th spot, displaying an overall crime severity index of 126.2, reflecting a year-over-year increase of 6.8%. Violent crime rose by 6.2%, and nonviolent crime increased by 7.1%, positioning Saskatoon in the middle ground for safety. Moose Jaw, with a population of 32,813 people, stands at the 8th position, reporting an overall crime severity index of 121, indicating a 3.7% decrease year over year. While violent crime increased by 15.4%, nonviolent crime decreased by 8.4%, presenting a mixed scenario in crime trends in that city. Warman, housing a population of 12,362, experienced a significant crime severity index increase of 63.3%, reaching a number of 117.3. Violent crime surged by an astonishing 311%, contributing to Warman's rise in the rankings. And I'll just quickly pause here, because when we see a number like that, it seems very alarming, but being Warman a smaller community, if there are a few more incidents that happen, it can drastically increase those numbers. So keep that in mind as we're going through the list. Up next, we have Regina, the second largest city with a population of 224,996 people. It secured the 6th position, reporting an overall crime severity index of 111, indicating a 6.4% decrease year over year. Violent crime saw a notable reduction in the city of 18%, contributing to Regina's commendable performance in enhancing safety. Weyburn, with a population of 10,883, ranks 5th, displaying an overall crime severity index of 81.3, reflecting a 3.5% increase. While violent crime decreased by almost 20%, nonviolent crime rose by 15.5%. Estevan, with a population of 10,629, secures the 4th position, reporting an overall crime severity index of 79.5, marking a 9.8% decrease. Notably, violent crime decreased by 36.3%. Humboldt, boasting a population of 5,313 people, holds the 3rd spot, reporting an overall crime severity index of 67.7, indicating a 4.8% increase. Despite a slight overall increase, Humboldt remains one of the safer cities, especially in terms of violent crime. Swift Current, with a population of 16,304, claims the 2nd position, revealing an overall crime severity index of 39.6, reflecting a 24% decrease year over year. Both violent crime and nonviolent crime saw substantial reductions of 24.2 and 24% year over year. And last but not least, the safest city in Saskatchewan according to the Crime Severity Index, Martensville, with a population of 10,499, it takes the top spot, reporting the lowest overall crime severity index on the list at 26.8, reflecting a remarkable 19.5% decrease year over year. Violent crime decreased by 35.2%, and nonviolent crime decreased by 12.1%, positioning Martensville as the safest city in Saskatchewan, with crime stats well below the national average. It is noteworthy that Martensville's proximity to Saskatoon provides residents with easy access to the city while enjoying the tranquility of a bedroom community. One special mention that I wanted to note on here, and it kind of confused me as I went through this list, is North Battleford has traditionally been one of the more dangerous cities when we're talking about places and crime that happens in Saskatchewan, and it wasn't on the Crime Severity Index list, so I would put that as a little caveat on there. And just to recap this whole thing, I want everyone to go and do their own research and come up with their own opinions, and let me know if you live in any of these communities and if you have any further thoughts on it to help people decide whether they want to move there or not. And that does it for this week's episode of the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. I hope you found some value here, and if you did, do us a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel to not miss our weekly episodes that come out every single Monday. If you're in the market for a home, you're potentially thinking of moving to Saskatchewan, that's why you're watching this video, maybe you need help buying that house. I am a licensed mortgage broker in Saskatchewan. I would be happy to help you out on your next purchase, renewal, or refinance, and can also connect you with some of those local realtors who can help direct you in finding a good house in any of the cities that we included on this list. Until next week, I'm Ron Caroni, your Saskatchewan mortgage professional. Bye for now.